Josh.
The Red Sox rally from behind and take game one of this wild card 3-1.
What is up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Trevor at Trevor Thomas IW. Josh is at On Air Josh. You can follow the show too at Inside with Sports. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee, the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. And the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. The Red Sox beating the Yankees to open today's show. Audio from the Red Sox TV Network. Notice who we didn't use, Josh.
Yeah, that's because that was the outcome I was hoping for in a game that started at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Didn't go that way.
No.
Although we did predict it.
Yeah, we did. That was the one, unfortunately, that I got right. I think I got the rest wrong. So, whatever. Don't bet with me. How about that?
No.
Josh, my voice.
Yeah, what's going on?
It happened yesterday, too. I'm hoping that it's just a quick cold that I caught on the plane or something from Dallas. But, I mean, just a little bit of sniffles, a little bit of a something in my throat. Nothing major. It'll be fine.
Okay.
But we're going to the game on Saturday.
We
all
also
do that yesterday. I surprised Josh with a ticket to game one of the NLDS, which, by the way, I had a lot of people ask me yesterday. Was that real? Was that really a surprise to Josh? No.
I honestly didn't know if after the show you were going to be like, so anyway, like, that was just a bit. No, I don't have any tickets.
It was not a bit. We are doing this on Saturday. Currently, we are tailgating by ourselves. We have not gotten an invite. We have openly invited ourselves to anybody else's tailgate.
Give it some time. First, I have to tell you how this went breaking the news at home.
Yeah, so I did ask before I surprised you with the ticket if you had anything going on Saturday, because I know to check my family calendar before I can commit to anything. And then I also know if it's open, I say, I appear to be available, but let me make sure with the warden to see if I'm available or not.
So, literally during the show, as you make this, as you tell me this, as you surprise me with this, I go and I throw it on the calendar. And we just got done talking minutes before about how I do not use the calendar to a satisfactory level in my household.
We're trying.
I add it to the calendar, and then I text my wife and just say, "Hi, I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. You are amazing. I hope your day is amazing. Don't tell her anything about the game."
Yeah.
I was like, because maybe it's just how rough starts in the morning. I'm not gonna, I gotta prep and plan news for it. And then I see her later in the day, and we're just talking about the show and how it went and everything. And I went, I'm assuming you didn't have a chance to listen today. And she was like, "No, I didn't." And I said, "Okay, well, there was I'm letting you know, it was really cool. Trevor surprised me on the show, and he actually got us tickets to go to game 2 on Saturday at Amphitheater."
No, game 1. Yeah.
Game 1. And she goes, "Yeah, I know." And I went, what do you mean? And she goes, "Well, I saw it on the calendar." And I was like, wow.
Funny how that works.
So I put it on the calendar. I didn't notify her. There was no notification. She just checked the calendar so often that the news that I was going to the game was broken to her via calendar before I had the conversation with her. And I think that still went over better than if I would have said to her, "Hey, so I'm going to add it to the calendar, but can I go to the game?" So
what's interesting about that is That's why you brought up the sickness or whatever I got, because you're like, we need to get rid of that before Saturday.
Yeah.
You're right. It's going to be me and not, however many tens of thousands of fans that are with us. That's if you get sick, it's definitely me.
No, absolutely.
I don't even feel sick. It's just I don't know. Maybe I was shouting too much to call a timeout at the Cowboys Packers game. That was possible.
Listen, 72 hours. Okay,
I'll be all right. I don't feel bad. I don't feel sick. It's just my voice and some stuff. You know what I think it is? Wisconsin not being able to make up its friggin' mind about what season we're in.
Well, that is. I mean, it's October 1st.
Yeah, it's October 1st. Is that when we get to have a frost and get rid of all the allergies and stuff?
I don't know that we go straight to frost, but I think this is like we can enjoy fall.
This isn't fall. 85 degrees is not fall.
No, but it's gonna be here so soon.
Rare is the bird. Rare is the bird that loves winter. I love winter. You know what I don't have in winter is a sore throat or coffee, whatever, or the sniffles, because all the allergies are gone. Everything's in the air. I don't feel sick. This is allergies, and I would like them to leave. So hurry up, fall, get here. It's October.
It's true. Hey, did you watch any baseball yesterday?
Yeah. But it was hard to watch baseball because my phone kept dinging from a particular Brewers fan that was losing his mind that the Cubs were playing.
So I think that should be a good tie-in just to let you know what you're getting yourself into on Saturday. I feel bad for you. This is going to be, they talk about first impressions, right? Well, obviously we've had many conversations, but this is the first time in person we will be together, and it is going to be in the most high-strung Josh Albrecht mode that happens throughout the year.
I've met him via the phone.
It's so much worse. It's so much worse.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we blind dated this show.
Yes.
Josh and I were hooked up by friends, and just decided, you know what, we're just going to trust them. And we're meeting for the first time on Saturday.
Yep. And it's going to be great, but you're seeing a side of me that only comes out in these types of situations.
Can you give me a warning? Like, what is the...
Here's an example. Okay. 2011 in Game 5 in LDS. Amazing moment. Nigel Morgan, walk-off hit, right? We all remember it, of course.
Yeah.
I was at that game. When the Brewers went down in that game, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Okay.
I was so upset. I was so emotionally distraught. I was like, I got to take a walk. And I was walking around. I just was walking around the stadium. And then I found myself, it was the TGI Friday at the time, but I found myself walking, around the back of that, right by the bullpen.
Yep.
And as I'm walking that, the Brewers get a hit. And I just stop. And I watch. And I don't move. And I didn't move. For so long that people that were sitting at the tables right on the other side of that fence above the bullpen started coming out to high-five me and say to me, "Don't you move." And I spent the next 4 innings, including that moment when Nigel Morgan hit the walk-off hit, planted right where I was when that hit happened, because I am that superstitious.
Is that the last time? Is that the last time you were at a Brewers playoff game?
No.
Okay. So you sat back in the seat, so I don't have to stand in center field when we have actually nice seats because of your superstitious.
No, but I will tell you this: like, I might get really mad at you if you choose to go to the bathroom or go get another beer.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially, hey, I already was thinking about it. And you said that you left during that blocked extra point and came back with what happened. Going, well, maybe that was on you. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have maybe left. So just get ready for that.
All right. Thanks for the warning. Appreciate that. Listen, I think it's going to be fun. I think that calendar piece with you and Julie is a blast. The funny part is that could have gone both ways. And I'm not suggesting that Amanda does this. And I'm not suggesting that Julie did that, or would have done this.
Yeah.
I'm saying you had a 50-50 shot.
Right.
I'm just going to put this on the calendar. She's probably going to see it because that's what she's been asking me to do. And then it could have said, well, it would have been nice to talk about this before you just decided to put it on the calendar and go. I'm not saying, and this is a compliment sandwich. I am not suggesting Julie would do that. I'm saying that life poses that could have gone both ways. And I'm really glad it didn't go that way.
Me too.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
We got to figure out what we're going to do. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I just have allergies.
That's right.
And I don't want to take an allergy pill at 5 a.m. because those make you groggy. And I don't need any help in that category, getting up at 4 a.m.
That's fair.
So I'm excited. I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to be there. I have lots to say, though, about how you reacted yesterday during that Cubs-Padres game. That'll come up in our mind dump, our morning mind dump at 7:02. I just want to take some moments to gather my thoughts. I wrote a novel in our little shared sheet, so try not to go over there and read that. You're going to get all worked up.
Yeah.
As if you're not worked up enough.
Mm-hmm.
The one piece that I will talk about now, though, and maybe this is the time where you get to defend yourself, because my morning mind dump is it's going to come off as aggressive. But I just need
so used to it. So go right ahead.
Why are you so afraid?
Why am I the way I am?
No, I'm not asking like I don't need your life story. I'm just saying when it comes to sports, I find that the realistic Josh, and we talked about this before we launched the show, I'm an eternal optimist.
Yes.
And you call yourself a realist.
Yes.
So when you look at the situation with the Cubs and the Padres yesterday, and the Cubs played well. And we figured they were going to play well. They're at Wrigley. They're on a bit of a heater. Their fans are really excited. Why does that make you nervous or afraid of the Chicago Cubs potentially playing the Milwaukee Brewers?
If you punch me in the face 3 times in a row, and then go to punch me a fourth, I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna have a natural reaction.
It would take 3?
Yeah, probably. Okay. Probably. I'd be too dumb to do something about it first 3.
Kind of like I was when that dude hit me in the head. Yeah, okay.
But by the fourth, I was like, it would come naturally. And so that's how I feel about this Brewers team. It hasn't just been, we lost. Now we lost. It has been heartbreak of just, man, and like this, and after this season, and after this type, to where it's just too difficult for me to look at this type of situation with the Cubs and go, of course, that's a possibility. If it was, that's why, if it's Padres and we lose to the Padres, then it's, all right, well, they were the better team, right? There's not going to be a ton more than that. We could beat the Cubs, we could beat the Padres. Both are possibilities that could absolutely happen. But the sting that would come along with losing to the Cubs, a Craig Counsell-led Cubs team, is I so don't want it that no matter how much I look at it from a realistic standpoint, it's always in the back of my head. It's a possibility of straight manure on my life. Just poo.
So someone along the way punched you 3 times, okay, in the past.
Yeah.
And they just happened to be wearing a Brewers hat when they punched you. But what I hear you saying is that over a span of time, you have now become afraid of anybody walking into the room with a Brewers hat on going, oh, God, am I going to get punched?
I think it's still, a specific situation. Like, there have definitely been in the last, like 6-7 years of Brewers playoff baseball, there's been years where I have not felt this way. Where there has been a situation, the year that we barely snuck in as a wild card, when we got eliminated, did it suck? Yeah, but it was like,
sure. Expectations were low.
Exactly. This is the best team that has ever existed for the Milwaukee Brewers, according to statistics, wins. To have the narrative, a possible narrative, right? Staying realistic, saying this is what's going to happen. But the fact that it is an option, it is an outcome that can happen. B, that it's Craig Counsell's Cubs that are going to have the opportunity to eliminate the Brewers is terrifying.
Does that not fire up a Milwaukee Brewers fan just as much as it would appear to be the perfect recipe for the Cubs? Meaning, does that not show us an opportunity to prove ourselves to say, hey, we made the right decision? We're not that terribly upset that Craig left and went to the team from the South.
No. I'm still very upset that he went to Chicago.
Oh, I am too. I'm just saying it is what it is. Like, it's in the past. I look for opportunities if I'm doubted to prove myself. What I hear you saying is you have some doubt, especially against the Craig Counsell-led Cubs. The Brewers may be given an opportunity to prove themselves.
The doubt is on the Brewers and how they finish the season. The doubt is based on the last 7 or 8 games of the regular season for the Brewers. If there's doubt, it's looking at the baseball we watched yesterday, seeing how different it is from regular season baseball, seeing how long some of these starting pitchers went, seeing the way that these teams played. It's not 8-4 type games, right? Pitchers are locked in. The game is locked in. It's a different game. Seeing how the Brewers finish the regular season, if there's any doubt, it's based on that. I'm talking strictly just based on potential outcomes. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the Brewers cannot beat the Cubs. I don't believe that at all. I absolutely believe the Brewers can beat the Cubs. It's the possible outcome of it being that narrative of the Brewers lost to Craig Counsell's Cubs after being the best team that the Brewers have ever been. I do not like that headline.
Just the thought of that already has you with the yips.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you may expect, I have a response, and I will do that during our morning mind dump at the top of the hour.
Okay.
Stay tuned or tune back in for that. I wrote a novel last night, and then I slept on it. And then I looked at it again this morning, and I'm like, that was actually really well written. I don't need to adjust the thing. You ever do that? You ever write the email and go, all right, don't send that. Don't send that.
Proofread.
Yeah. No, just like, did you have a bunch of attitude that you didn't need to have?
Oh, I see.
Like, should I send that email? So I slept on it.
It.
I did not send the email last night. I read the email this morning. And in a rare case, I decided I'm going to send the email. And I will do that at 7:02 here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Hey, you guys got to remember to join our guy, Tommy Works. 97 wins, the NL Central champions. How far will the crew go? Get ready for the postseason with night 2 of the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wirtz and Andrew Wagner from Forbes Sports. Tonight from 5 to 6 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the Pack? Go inside the locker room with Packers beat writer Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press-Gazette during 9 to noon with Kuhn every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on.
You see that talking text line?
FM
yeah, so that's somebody
that
that obviously was listening to me on the game. And I don't know how we talk about that other than to acknowledge
Just play with your rewards card
the first one. I don't know that we can talk about the second one because it was for the guys on the No BS show. But yeah, do you want to?
I think you can bring. I don't think you're allowed to say that you, like I've said plenty of times that, when I worked across the street, I don't think you can say no BS, but you could say like when filling in before this job on a different show.
Better yet, because the story you just said about being superstitious, is this a question that you could ask me in the I have questions portion of the show?
Yeah, I could say like, I have questions. Can you explain what happened with this?
Yes.
Text? Yeah.
Are you aware of what happened with that or no?
I have no idea.
All right, you're not going to like it.
Oh, I'm sure I won't.
Top dog get you top dollar.
Go to topdoglaw.com. That's topdoglaw.com.
During Prohibition, the federal alcohol ban included an exemption for medicinal use. Doctors nationwide wrote many liquor prescriptions, and
We got about
pharmacies were one of
4
the few
minutes.
places whiskey could legally be purchased.
3.
Yeah, 3.5.
All right, be right back.
Just another way alcohol has helped shape history. Hi, this is Marie with Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've been Wisconsin's home for over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. With 2 locations in Milwaukee and Waukesha, our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. In fact, Discount Liquor has even won numerous national and local awards from sources like GQ Magazine, RateBeer.com, the Shepherd Express, and the Milwaukee Journal. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Discount Liquor. Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
I'm back, by the way.
Milwaukee sports.
Good.
Former Packers players. Today starts off with Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
An opportunity to be back on the radio in Milwaukee. I mean, truly a dream come true, and to do it here with the fan is awesome. Can you believe it?
So I'm trying to think about my analysis of this game, and if I want to put it in I have questions, or if I want to do it for my morning mind dump.
Analysis of the Cubs game?
Yeah, like my thoughts, because if you have this big thing planned for the morning mind dump, maybe I should get mine out and I have questions. I don't know.
Well, on paper, it's bigger than it probably will be in person. It's more of a rant.
Okay.
And honestly, it could have gone. I actually had it in I have questions, but it's too long for this segment. So you can save it. Unless this doesn't carry us, then go ahead and bring it up.
Okay.
Bank predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs rattle markets. According to reports, 2025 recession risks just increased significantly. And a billionaire investor warns of a more serious global breakdown. That's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to the award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. Right now, Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited
45.
silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-969-GOLD to find out how you can help diversify your savings. Tax and penalty free today. Help protect what you've worked so hard for before it's too late. Call 855-969-GOLD. That's 855-969-GOLD. You should always consult with your financial and tax professional.
Broadcasting live from the Fan Studios, powered by
Here we go.
Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get with us. What questions do you have? It is time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Somebody chimed in last segment. Let's get this out of the way. First off, there's a congratulations on the new job. Somebody was listening to me across the street. There's a comment here about that I wear a cup when I play softball. I'm a grown man, and I see no reason why you wouldn't protect yourself playing softball, regardless of the size of the softball, the ability for it to come in hot. I've always worn a cup, and this person just can't get over that. Yeah. Also, Josh, glad to see you back on the radio as well. And then this text. Trevor did jinx the Brewers by buying burgers before burgers were available for free during that, I believe it was the 9 or 8 game streak earlier in the year. Now, here's where I have questions, okay?
Okay.
There was a lot to say about when I did that I jinxed the winning streak, because when I did that, the very next game, the Brewers lost. All right?
Yes.
My question is, if you buy someone a wedding gift before they get married, are you jinxing their marriage?
Depends. I mean, I don't know that that's apples to oranges here. I need more context on, why you bought burgers, how that all went down. Here's the thing. This texter that texted this in also saying that you jinxed the Packers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. Well, I went to Dallas.
The fact that I'm not. Well, although you did say that your record's not very good on the road.
Well, I've been to 2. I'm
that's not enough.
1-1.
Yeah. That's not enough. But you did put out that tweet. Remember when you put out that tweet to start the show, where you were like, "Cannot wait for the Packers. The Packers are going to destroy. The Brewers are going to clinch."
You and your context,
and you. It's all context.
That is not what I said. I did not guarantee anything.
Yes, you did.
No, I
didn't.
Yes,
you
that's
did.
a whole conversation already. I feel like
you did not say. You did not say. Man, I really hope the Packers can get it done. The Brewers can clinch, and we end up having the best day of a first show of morning radio. That would be awesome. Either way, can't wait to see you guys. It was the Packers are going to win, the Brewers are going to clinch, and we're going to have the best day to start off the morning show. Book it.
3 out of the 4 were correct. You can't win them all, Josh. You can't win them all. So in this case, we had a lot of conversation about the George Webb keys when there was a lot of wins in a row for the Brewers. And out of kindness, I bought guys lunch. And that was it. It was just a gift. Hey, guys, lunch on the inside of Wisconsin. Have a great day. And it was George Webb's.
You didn't say anything like, hey, just in case it doesn't happen.
Nothing.
Oh,
literally just bought one.
Okay, then that doesn't count.
Thank you. Wow. How time we agree on that.
Listen, I'm not. It's not to just make you feel bad. If you actually messed up and jinxed something, I'm going to call you out on it. That's not a jinx. That's buying lunch.
Thank you. I wish this person would have left their name. I would like them to understand that in this scenario, I was not the jinx.
No.
Wow. I didn't think it was going to go that way. I'm really grateful for that. All right.
I'll call him.
That I didn't know. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text Line, 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Get your questions in. This segment is I Have Questions.
Hey, Trevor, I have questions. Mm-hmm. Do you believe, after watching these 4 baseball games yesterday, that the play and the way that baseball is done in the postseason is different than a high-stakes game in the regular season? And if so, do you think that lines up with the Brewers' chemistry?
I actually do. So yes to both of your questions. I think that playoff baseball is different at a different level, with a different level of effort, a different strategy. All of it's different. Everything is different. And yes, I do believe that lines up perfectly with the way the Brewers play baseball. Because if anything, late in the season, we got away from playing like the playoff team that they were during the 3 win streaks. I also believe that Pat Murphy is far smarter than any other manager in baseball right now. He knows what he's doing. He absolutely has a plan on how he plans to use the guys, who's going to be on the 26-man roster. Is it 13 and 13 in terms of position players to pitchers? Is it 14 and 12? How does it shake out? And you will see the small ball Brewers come back. There was a lot of small ball yesterday, and there was a lot of long ball yesterday. But I do believe that this indeed sets us up perfectly for what will be the Brewers playoffs.
Okay. That's going to tie into my morning mind dump.
Okay.
Which we will get to. My answer to the question that I asked you.
All right. Thanks for asking.
Yes.
Here's my question. I saw yesterday from Andrew Wagner on Twitter, Forbes Sports.
Yes.
There was a tweet from a feature writer for the Philly Inquirer. His name is Matt Breen. You can find this at Matt_Breen, Breen. Apparently, at 5 o'clock Central today, the Phillies are having an intra-squad scrimmage at Citizens Bank Park. And as of the time of this tweet yesterday, there were limited tickets left. They have sold 29,500 tickets for Wednesday's intra-squad scrimmage. So my question, and it was Andrew too, why did the Brewers do that?
Clearly, there was something. I think, honestly, my guess would be that it came down to Murph and the coaching staff that said, "No, we don't want the distraction of having fans in here. We got to work on things." I don't know if this is Philly's first time. I'd have to go back and look, but I know it's the Brewers' first time having this break. And then they said in that last game, the broadcast team brought up that Murph had asked other managers around the league, gotten their advice on the best way to handle everything during this break because it's new. And so I'm not necessarily surprised that they would have decided, no, we're not going to do that. I know it would have been fan-friendly, but this is what they think needs to happen for the best chance for them to win, then keep fans out of the park.
Does that make you more excited for the strategy that the Brewers are taking into the playoffs, that they didn't choose to do something like this, the Phillies did? And a follow-up, is that concerning? And or did we see value in the fans getting back in the mix and just cheering on the guys? Listen, nobody loses. It's a scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be really fun to get the fans excited based on your theories of how the season ended and so on. I think
I don't know that it changes anything.
It doesn't. Okay.
I don't know that seeing them play a scrimmage changes how I look at how they ended the regular season and the overall vibes of it. And I think if you're a fan, regardless of how that finished or who they're playing, you better be loud and rowdy come game one of the NLDS. So that shouldn't matter at all. Essentially, nothing that happens in the scrimmage should change anything from a fan perspective. It should add anything, if anything, it was just an opportunity for the Brewers to make more money and the fans have another opportunity to see their team.
But it's also a pep rally. I see it as a major league sports pep rally. Kind of like the return of the town. Yeah, maybe not. And the Phillies think that they will benefit from it. So here's my question then, Mr. Superstitious. If we're not having a pep rally, and we're not exactly happy with how the end of the Brewers season played out, what can you see on Saturday that's going to make all of these fears go away?
Well, winning. Winning cures everything.
Okay, is that it? Just a win? What if it's like because you had a lot of these back it in stuff over the last few weeks?
We can't back into an NLCS. Can't do it. That's the problem.
So is all you want is a win? You don't care how we win. You don't care the outcome of the at-bats or the defensive play. It could be the sloppiest Major League Baseball game you've ever seen. And as long as the Brewers win, you will be completely okay with the direction of the Milwaukee Brewers the rest of the postseason.
If they get out of the NLDS, I don't care how they win. If they look sloppy and there's injury and they win game one, but it sets us up to where the rest of the series is going to be garbage, then no. I don't know that there's anything that's going to make me feel super comfortable after game one, even if they win. They could blow them out 12-0. It's still only one game. There's a whole series. We're playing a series. It's not a one-game series. It's a best-of-5 series. That's how it works. So until the final out that guarantees the Brewers are moving on to the NLCS and the Cubs are going home, until that moment, I'm going to still be looking at and analyzing the whole thing.
So what I heard you say was a win doesn't cure everything.
Winning cures everything. But you have to win the series. Winning one game doesn't. That's like saying, okay, the Brewers started the season off terribly against the Yankees, but then when they got their first win, I was supposed to go, well, okay, they got one win now. I know there are 162 of these. They got one, so I'm going to calm down. That's not how it works. It's all perspective. It's all you got to look at the whole picture.
So there's nothing in the game on Saturday that you could be like, whoa, we're back. There it is. That's what I was looking for. We're stealing bases. We're sack flying. We're bunting.
It'll help. Listen, I will be ecstatic to see that. I'll be ecstatic to see the team that we know this Brewers team can be come back, especially out the gate at home. That would be electric. I would love that. It's not going to make me calm down for games 2, 3. Hopefully it ends there with 3 Brewer wins. But it's not going to make me calm down about those games.
Can you use something as cautiously optimistic, or is it only black and white? It's either good or bad.
No, absolutely you can use something as cautiously optimistic.
So what about the Brewers on Saturday would leave you cautiously optimistic with a loss? I'm not saying they're going to lose. I am not jinxing that. I'm saying, is there anything that can leave you cautiously optimistic? Because the way the season ended,
not if they lose.
I don't hear you cautiously optimistic at all.
If they lose, I can't say, well, they put up 10 runs, but they lost 12 to 10, and say, but at least they put up 10 runs. No, that's not the mentality to have in the postseason. You can't have that. The season will be done. And then you go home with the participation trophy. And you go, well, at least we scored a bunch of runs. It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, which could be one of 3 if you don't win the next one. This is what I don't understand about people that don't get what postseason baseball is. It's 0-0. The records, they don't mean anything anymore. The records for 162 games allow you to decide seeding. That is it. Everyone started yesterday at 0-0. The Brewers have won 0 games. They have lost 0 games from this point forward. Well, I don't understand why people. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Everything is about now. That's it. That's it. Not great. Why do you do this to me? God.
If you would like to see how much Josh's body shakes, the whole thing is bouncing when he gets fired up like that. We are streaming live on YouTube. Search the fan Milwaukee, and then maybe just like rewind a little bit and watch that man. The whole thing is just shaking. I love it.
Yeah.
Love you.
Uh-huh.
Can't wait to see you on Saturday. We're going to be there. Hit us up. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line 414-677-1250. What are you doing Saturday? You want to hang out? You want to meet us? You want to say hi? You want to come to our tailgate? Let us know. I can't wait, man. It's going to be a blast.
It will be a blast. And I will be freaking out all the time.
Yes, you will. It is Insiders Wednesday on 9 to noon with Coon, Packers beat writer Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press Gazette, 10 a.m., and then Forbes Brewers writer Andrew Wagner at 11 on 1250 a.m. and 105.7 FM. The Fan, 9 to noon with John Coon. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 a.m. and 105.7 FM. The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. Up next, the most electrifying sound of the day.
Listen to 105.7 FM The Fan anytime, anywhere with the free Odyssey app. Hear all our shows, podcasts, and interviews. Powered by Gerber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's
all right. I got to check that.
This accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust
Stream.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law, proud partner of your Milwaukee.
I don't
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW, and Josh is at On Air Josh. You can follow the show as well at Inside Wis Sports. Follow the Fan too, Facebook, Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee, the website thefanmilwaukee.com. And hit us up on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, it is time for today's most electrifying sound of the day. Hit it.
Best 23 saves this year. Hit hard up the middle. Diving stop by Baez. And the throw gets away from Torkelson. On his way to second. Now headed to third, Ramirez. And he's going to make it standing up.
Oh, but wait, that's part one. So what you heard there was Ramirez getting to third in the bottom of the ninth for Cleveland, down a run on an erred throw to first. And here's the next call.
Chopper back to the mound. They have Ramirez in a rundown. This tags him out for the second out of the ninth inning.
Brutal.
Absolutely. Brutal.
What a emotional roller coaster for Guardians fans at that game. Your team is down a run. You just had a pass ball. You got a runner on third to come back, tie the game. The place is going ballistic. And then to have that type of mistake where Ramirez gets caught in a rundown. Oh, Lord.
And what was the score? Was the score 2-1 at that point?
I believe it was 2-1.
So do you see any ability to give that person grace because they needed the run? And so is it a go-on contact situation? That happened in the Yankees game too. There was one out, bases were loaded, a fly ball was hit to right, Goldschmidt was on third, and he chose not to tag up. And my son, Rhodey, was like, Dad, why didn't he go? Why didn't he go? And I said, because you don't make the second out at home when you're down 2 runs. But if it was 2-1,
it's 2-1.
He's probably taken up.
And now here's the thing, too. He got to first, or he got to third, rather, Ramirez did, 0 out. So they had Ramirez on third, no one away. Then it ends up the next guy up strikes out.
Okay, so 1 out.
So then but the pop in that stadium, that call, that electrifying call, is a team that's down 2-1, bottom of the ninth, gets a man on third with no one away in their last inning, their last shot, then strikes out, deflating, right? You bring that back down. But then to have the second out be getting caught in a rundown.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy at the plate next up, I mean, at that point, all
fairly
energy is
defeated.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that situation, then, what I hear you saying is that is not a go-on contact situation.
Or if it is, commit. Like at that point, you got to commit and just hope that the pitcher doesn't get the ball. He messes up. Like you can't run and then get caught in no man's land. That is just terrible base.
The rundown
running.
Was the problem.
Yeah,
you're right. So I wonder if that should be a go-on contact or if he waits for the throw to first and then goes.
Well, clearly that was his hope, was that he could stay a little bit in no man's land and that the pitcher was going to instinctively throw it to first and then he'd be able to get home. But what an idiot, and not realizing that, what? No, you're standing right there. Of course he's going to try to get you out. You're the tying run.
What's worse, getting thrown out at home in that situation or getting in the rundown?
Getting in the rundown.
Yeah, that's bad.
100%.
It's just bad business.
If you are committed, at least you committed. You know, it still might be a dopehead move to take that chance and run, but at least you went for it. Getting stuck is way worse. And then he didn't even stay in the rundown long enough to advance the runner to second. I mean, the whole thing was just awful.
And of the games yesterday, you shared with us earlier, or maybe it was off air, that was your favorite game of all 4 last night, or yesterday, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news, Shohei Ohtani is very good.
Yeah, that was the least enjoyable game.
Yeah, that was.
Well,
tough
that's
to
not
watch.
true. The Cubs Padres game was worse. I couldn't even finish watching it. But
I didn't get any mean tweet text during the Dodgers game, other than the one that I said, "Oh, this sucks." What?
Well, and that's just because the Dodgers dodgered. You know, like I seriously, I look at it like the Lakers or some of these other professional sports teams that you see them kind of not go at 100%, and then you see these future Hall of Fame players that can just reach a completely different level when they need to in the postseason. And that's exactly what Ohtani and the Dodgers did. You know, anyone that went into this going, well, the Dodgers have struggled, the Dodgers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but now it's postseason baseball, and Ohtani's going to Ohtani, and he did.
I wish I could read our back and forth texts during the Cubs game.
You can't.
I can't. Why do radio guys have such potty mouths off the air?
Because we can't have them on the air.
Yeah. There's not enough seconds in the delay for me to read through this. But long story short, if there is one, boy, I'm laughing rereading some of these. If there is one, this is it. I said, I'm not afraid of either team. I picked the Cubs. AmFam will be obnoxious if they come, and there's only one way to shut them up. And you said,
I said, this sucks.
This sucks. I said, dude, I am so not stressed about this game. Our team isn't playing. And in all caps, I don't want to play the Cubs, Trevor.
It's like you weren't getting it. Hello, McFly. Anyone home up there, McFly? You're not getting it. I don't want to play the Cubs.
Yelled. Got it. Loud and clear.
Thank you.
Amazing. I hope you guys get our new lineup here on the Fan. We are so excited about it. 6 to 9 inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albright. Thanks. Appreciate it. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5 is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And 5 to 6 is usually the Fan postgame show with Tommy Wartz. But all this week, it's actually the Fan playoff preview show with Tommy Wartz and Andrew Wagner. That's tonight, 5 to 6 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan, 97 wins, NL Central champs. How far will the crew go? Up next. What's that?
I said that's the question.
Oh, that's the question. I thought you had.
That is the question.
All right. Up next, we do it every day. The coffee is kicked in. Although I think Josh's coffee kicked in like 2 segments ago.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the 8 o'clock hour at this point.
This one is I have written up some feedback for all of your Cubs nervousness. You're afraid, the fans, all the things. But what I hear you saying more than anything, Josh, is that you do not believe in the Brewers right now.
Am I even going to have a chance to give you my mind dump before you dump your morning mind dump?
Do you want to flip a quarter to see who goes first?
Sure. We'll
see.
We'll do that up there.
Listen, I'm not going to talk for 18 minutes straight.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I have some thoughts on how we are assessing the Brewers season.
Okay.
And I don't think it's fair. If we look at the way the season went, and if we're just comparing the end of the season to the middle of the season to the beginning of the season, I do not think it's fair for us as Brewers fans to be completely freaking out on the way the last 39 games of the season went. By the way, when we lost to the Reds to end the winning streak, it was at 14. The next 39 games, the way that played out, it may surprise you. We shall see. I'll share my thoughts next. It's the morning mind dump. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
And the Red Sox rally from behind and take game one of this wild card 3-1.
Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. What's up, man?
Dude, I'm feeling the open right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm
cranking it. You're shaking for a whole different reason. Not super fired up and angry like you were at me earlier.
Yeah, well, you got that out of me. I didn't want that to come out.
Poke the bear. I love poking the bear.
Yeah, you do.
Follow us on Twitter, would you? It's at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. Follow the show as well, Inside Wis Sports. The Fan Milwaukee is at The Fan Milwaukee. The website, thefanmilwaukee.com. And I'm going to need your feedback on this, so save this number right now because I am about to have a morning mind dump like none other. The Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. It is the time of the day when we just get it all out.
Yep.
What are we carrying? What's top of mind? What do you need to get off your chest? It could be about sports. It could be about Wisconsin sports, non-Wisconsin sports. It could be about something going on in your life that you just need to get off your chest. If you're angry with someone, don't mention their name. And at the end of the day, this is your moment. 414-677-1250. All right, here we go.
Yep.
First off, did you see the most recent text?
I sure did.
Jacob in a van. Yep. Josh, as a two-letter named grumpy old man in a past life, used to say, champions fear no one.
I believe he still says it. And I made it very clear, I think this was last week, I absolutely hate that statement as a fan. If I'm a player, sure, you have to have that mentality. As a fan, I get to watch my team, and luck is involved. The road you have, the teams you have to play, that's all part of getting there. And some teams have easier paths than others. I can want my team to have an easier path.
Well, you're not going to like this then. At Adam McKelvey, an unbelievable follow on Twitter.
Yeah, Adam.
He is the MLB.com Brewers beat writer and author of the Milwaukee Brewers at 50. He put out a piece a few days ago now that was essentially a piece on Christian Yelich being the voice of perspective. And he wondered, who does that player go to when he's in need of perspective? And there were some interesting points in that article that I would like to share in this morning's morning mind dump.
Okay.
Here's my question first. Why are Brewers fans so afraid of the Cubs? Or maybe put, why are Brewers fans so afraid to begin with? Paraphrasing from Adam's article, they were 25-28 on May 24th before taking off. And then they had the win streaks, 8 in a row, 11 in a row, and a franchise record 14 games over what was a 53-game set of victories in 69 games. Best record in baseball, best run differential, best base running according to StatCast, and more. Okay. The Brewers were 19-20 in their final 39 games. That's not bad baseball. That's average baseball. It's 500, one game under. Okay. It comes after the Brewers went 53-16.
Yeah.
That's not average.
No, that's awesome.
That's absurd. That is absurd. The Brewers, in between their 8-game streak and 11-game streak, were 16-11. Go and read this piece from Adam McKelvey. He talks with Christian Yelich about the mental and physical marathon that is Major League Baseball. Yelly shared he learned that lesson years ago. And Yelly said to survive, you have to always keep an open mind. And he also said to win a World Series would change this place for sure. I need to get it off my chest that we are comparing reasonably average baseball to something that is one of the most absurd things that we will see in professional sports. A 53-16 game record. 53-16. I understand why we feel angsty, but can we just pause for a minute and say that we're comparing this to the most absurd set of 69 game baseball that we 100% have ever seen out of the Milwaukee Brewers? I remember what it felt like to go 0-5 to start the season. I remember what it felt like when we were a few games under 500 towards the end of May. But then the most amazing thing happened that none of us saw coming because we didn't think they were capable of it. They went 53-16. We're in a better spot now, regardless of the way we believe we're playing on the field. Why can't that happen again? It's the same team with the same players and the same mentality and the same manager. So ultimately, my ask is, can we just have some perspective? Because we're comparing the end of the season to something that's absurd. And I don't think it's fair to the Brewers. I don't think it's fair to us as fans. And I understand I get caught up in it as well. But how can we ignore the fact that that is the most absurd stretch of baseball that the Brewers have ever played and that we as fans may ever see ever again? They're not a bad baseball team. Why are we so afraid? They're the best baseball team Milwaukee's ever had. They're the best baseball team in Major League Baseball this season. And they played average baseball over the last 39 games, coming out of a franchise record 14-game win streak. Oh, thanks. I just had to get that off my chest. What am I missing, Josh?
All right. My response. First, don't tell me how to fan.
Is that what that is?
Okay.
Am I telling you how to fan?
Yeah, you're trying to tell me how to fan. You're trying to tell me I have to look at this a certain way.
No, I'm asking, can we have some perspective?
Okay. Well, first, don't tell me how to fan. Second of all, it's what the Brewers did this year was incredible.
Absurd. It was absurd.
It was the most fun I think I can remember in a long time of just watching Brewers baseball. I mean, it definitely took me back to 2011 and the buzz in 2011 and the way that people were talking about this team in 2011. I mean, you started seeing Brewers jerseys in church on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like things changed. That was what the city was about during that run. It was all anyone wanted to talk about. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm not saying that this team was bad. I'm not saying this team is bad. What I'm saying is, and it's been the same message this entire time but you have to be the hot team when you get to the postseason. And so the fact that they were average ending the season, great. I'm glad they didn't suck. I'm glad that they were average. Okay. But there were plenty of things that we still worried about. We worried about the production from the bats. We worried about injuries, and were guys going to be able to be better? Were they going to the fact that's why that last game I talked about how big that was. McGill coming in and pitching that inning was so big, right? That helped. That makes you feel a little bit better seeing that McGill's back. We were supposed to, all I saw on social media yesterday was that we were supposed to hear an update by the end of the day from Pat Murphy on Brandon Woodruff. Pat Murphy says we're going to have an update on Brandon Woodruff by the end of the day. Where it at, though? I ain't see it. Anybody see it? Did I miss that? I didn't see it this morning. Still don't know. These are the things that I'm still out here looking at. I'm not saying that this team does not have the ability, the possibility, or the opportunity to go out and be that team that put out absurd numbers and did things that we may never see again from a Milwaukee Brewers team. They absolutely do. And I am praying that they do, that they find a way to get that fire back when they need it the most. It's not a guarantee, though. You never know, because everything starts over. And so
wait. Everything starts over.
Yes, it's 0-0. I said that earlier in the show when he got me this fired up. It's 0-0.
Right. Pause. It's 0-0.
Yeah.
Why does 0-0 give you angst? It's 0-0.
As I said, my only problem is the fact that there's a possibility of a narrative where it's losing to Craig Counsell's Cubs. I absolutely believe that this team has the opportunity to do that, to turn it back on. That win to get that 97th win proved McGill can come back and they can do this. Churio can still hit just absolute heaters to hit the back of the wall. This team has that opportunity and that possibility. There's just other possibilities as well. All of that is what ties into being a realist. And the fact that one of those possibilities is losing to Craig Counsell's Cubs, I just don't want that to exist. I hate that possibility exists. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I don't know. But out of all of the possibilities, I don't even want that to be on the board.
And I welcome the possibility of knocking Craig Counsell and the Cubs out of the playoffs. There's nothing I want more than to ruin their year. So the feeling's mutual. If we're nervous about them doing that to us, let's flip the script and go, they should be worried about us doing that to them. And, buddy, have we got some feedback on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line to get to? Wow.
Oh,
we appear to have lit the pilot light of anger this morning based on how we're doing with the morning mind dump. Nicolay Law fan talk and text line 414-677-1250. Here's the first one. As a fan, I'm not afraid of the Cubs. I'm afraid of the joy Cubs fans could have if they win. I cannot stand the fan base. The worst thing ever to happen in baseball was them winning in 2016 because it enabled, well, where's your ring, right?
Yep, which we still hear all the time.
What I'm refusing to do is something called forebode joy. I am a joy magnet, and I'd like to think that if you come into my presence, I help bring joy to your life, whether it's on this radio station, with the podcast, me as a friend, a neighbor, whatever the case may be. I hope when you come into contact with me at this stage of my life that it brings you some level of joy, whether I'm the butt of the joke or not. I don't care. I'm unwilling to forebode the joy that was this season to this point. I'm not doing it. I'm not forgetting about all of the things that got us here because we're afraid of what might happen with Craig Counsell and the Cubs coming to AmFam Field. Can't do it. And I hear this person because you're right. In 2016, it was awful. The worst season of baseball in my life. But I also immediately said to any Cubs fan that came into my presence, I did not bring them joy. I said, hey, good luck this next century.
Yeah, and they said, good luck forever, because where's your ring?
Jason from the 920, 3 words. 2019 Washington Nationals.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
I don't know where
Jason,
it's going.
Call.
Yeah, Jason, I'm going to need more context there, bud.
414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Jason, give us a buzz. All right. I want you to read that one.
Yeah. Well, all right, hold on. So we got Bert from the 920 that said this season will be quickly forgotten if the team is unable to have success in the postseason. Simple as that. Championships matter. You don't hang a banner for a regular season record. First of all, it will not be forgotten. They can't. They rewrote history this season. That's a beautiful thing. They are the new team streak. Okay, so this team streak of the past, yes, I understand it included Molitor's hit streak, but they beat that team's winning streak this year, and they also set the new franchise record for wins. This is not going away. This 2025 team, regardless of what happens in the postseason, will be talked about. You just don't want it to be capped off with a loss to Craig Counsell's Cubs. Okay. But this frustration from Bert, I understand. This is the pent-up, we've never done it, I want to do it in my lifetime mentality that comes along with being a Brewers fan. It's just different. So I understand Brewers fans are frustrated with the idea of being okay with doing good but not great. They want to get to the promised land once. They're frustrated with the bites of the apple and having the opportunity to be there and then not taking advantage. All right. And then
how do you spell Bert, by the way? I thought Bert was B-E-R-T.
Not this one. This one's B-U-R-T. I'm not going to tell him.
I hope this person has a dog named Ernie. Bert and Ernie. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that would be good. All right. And then we have my buddy Brian, who texts in, and we have these same conversations. Just he'll text me. He said, Josh, someone having reasons to be positive isn't infringing upon you trying to have a whole week of emotional anguish. Go ahead and be miserable because that's clearly what you want to do.
Mic drop.
Yeah. I, first of all, am not choosing to feel this way.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I would love to be positive Pete like you and going out there and do. I'm not. I'm analyzing things. I'm looking at the fact that this Padres team played small ball, tried pecking away, had opportunities yesterday, and they didn't do anything with it. And then they lost to 2 home runs. Okay, so if the Brewers' whole idea is to peck away, that didn't work. The Yankees were pecking away. They had 3 singles in the 9th. How did it end? Not great. I'm just saying, like, I'm analyzing baseball. I'm looking at the way that teams are doing things, and I'm looking at what the Brewers are going to have to go up against. And I still think there's a chance the Brewers can get past the Cubs and really make some noise. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, they're going to lose and everything's awful and this is all going to suck. And what's even the point of being a Brewer fan? I'm not doing that. This is still the most winningest team in Brewers history. And I absolutely believe that they have the chance to go out there and prove it. I am not saying they're going to lose. I'm saying, God, do I hate the idea that there's an opportunity for them to go and tarnish the season with a loss to Craig Counsell's Cubs. Why is that so hard to understand?
Because you're spending more time worrying about losing to Craig Counsell and the Cubs than you are spending time getting super excited.
That's all I can
because we could end the Cubs season.
Right.
I don't want to yell. No yelling.
Oh.
No
well,
yelling.
this is stupid.
It's not stupid. It's called the morning mind dump.
Oh, my God.
Here's the kicker. This is going to carry over. We're not done talking about this. There's so many more texts that we got to get to. We have a new feature on Wednesdays. We call it What Would You Do Wednesday? We're going to bump that back. Usually that's going to be here. This is continuing on. There's far too many texts that we got to get to about this conversation.
Okay.
So stick with us. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are not done with this. We're not done. For Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Oh, we're on a heater right now. For those of you that weren't with us in the last segment, we call it the Morning Mind Dump, where we just get the things off our chest that we got to get off our chest. And there's a lot of things on the chest that need to get out. We are having a conversation about the difference between being afraid of losing to the Cubs and Craig Counsell in the playoffs and the Cubs being afraid of us, and how I'm choosing not to forebode the joy that was this season. And I'm also choosing not to let the last 39 games with a 19-20 record scare me enough to have doubt about the best team in baseball heading into the playoffs. There's been a few more texts, but I promised to allow Josh to share how he feels and get his morning mind dump out of the way so that it wasn't just me talking and reading text and having Josh give feedback. So, my good man, the floor is yours.
I mean, all right, so I'm going to start by saying that this is exactly how I thought the morning mind dump was going to go when you said that you were going to start this. I was like, should I move this to – yeah. This crap took the whole top of the segment. But, okay, first of all, this idea of pessimism that I'm already saying the Cubs have won and all this other. You must not have listened to the show yesterday, because when we did our whole prediction of how this was going to go, I said that the Brewers were going to beat the Cubs. That was my prediction. I said that the Cubs were going to come to American Family Field and they were going to lose to the Brewers. I didn't say that it was going to be as dominant as I think you did, Trevor, but I said I said the Brewers were going to be eliminated in the NLCS. I said that's where I think the magic run ends, but that they were going to still get past the Cubs. So this idea that I just want to be miserable and that I'm focusing on just, woe is me and the Cubs are going to come in and they're going to beat the Brewers. Blah. I literally predicted yesterday that that's not what's going to happen. I can still hate the fact that that the possibility of having to play them exists. I'm still going to watch the Cubs play the Padres and be frustrated that the Padres throw away opportunities to beat the Cubs and stop my prediction of them even having to come to American Family Field happened. That's being a fan. I'm allowed to do that. And that's what I'm doing. I am not saying this sucks. The Cubs are going to come. No, but I'm watching the sports that are happening in front of me. And I am saying, son of a gun, this sucks. The Cubs beat the Padres. They're going to end the opportunity, the possibility for me to be wrong about the Brewers beating the Cubs at American Family Field is going to exist. And I hate that. I don't understand why that makes me such a bad person.
Did somebody call you a bad person?
Talk text line.
Yeah, I don't think they called you a bad person. All right, so here's somebody that you may be taking offense to. 239 area code.
Yeah, that's Brian. Yeah.
Oh, that's your buddy Brian?
Yeah, that's my buddy Brian, my friend Brian.
Oh, well then you read it. Or do you want me to read it?
You read it. I'm too.
Brian says, please stop calling yourself a realist.
Yeah.
You take the worst percentage odds and you base your entire emotional mindset on only the worst possibility. That's not being a realist. It's called pessimism. That's my main issue, is you representing your fandom as something it isn't. Be miserable all you want. Just label yourself correctly.
Again,
boy, am I glad you know that person.
Again, if I was a pessimist, I wouldn't believe that the Brewers had a chance against the Cubs. I wouldn't believe that the Brewers were going to beat the Cubs at American Family Field. I am looking at the possible options. I do it in every aspect of my life, and I hate it, by the way. I wish that my brain didn't go, well, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. I hate that the what-ifs of life that my brain formulates, but it happens in everyday life and sports and my sports fandom. And so I'm looking at the fact that the Brewers could sweep, the Brewers could get swept, the Brewers could win 3 in Game 5, they could lose in Game 5. They could play the Padres, they could play the Cubs. Those are all the options laid out to me right now. And the fact that out of all of those options, the fact of losing to Craig Counsell Cubs is one of those options is what I don't like. I don't want that to be an option. And it is. And so I'm talking about my frustration with that being an option and how I don't like it. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying that I think that's what's going to happen. I'm simply saying I hate that it is a possibility. Period.
Rhino in the 920. Nope, sorry, 608. Rhino, my bad. Rhino in the 608. Josh, as a Cubs fan, this is him talking. Before 2016, he was here. He says, I had no ring in my lifetime. I'm begging you to just enjoy this postseason and not worry. In 2015, the Cubs went toe-to-toe with the Cardinals, obviously their biggest rival at the time. He says, I went to the game, and I just went game by game and took it in stride. Worrying about a team that hasn't even advanced yet will ruin your playoff experience. Rhino, you know what? This is actually realistic here. Play the audio I sent you called Green Bay Sucks. This is the Cubs fans. I saw this from Andrew Wadner from Forbes Sports on Twitter. He shared this post. This is the audio from the Cubs fans leaving Wrigley yesterday. We're working on getting it. And they had nothing to say about who they were playing. It wasn't the Padres. They weren't talking about the Brewers. They weren't talking about the Phillies or anybody else on that side of the bracket. They hate one team and one team only, which makes me feel like we're giving them more credit than they deserve for how much they are making us uneasy. But I think it's more because the Brewers have made us uneasy over the last 39, 40 games. But my buddy Jason, who's texting in, says the whole purpose of all of this in regards to the Nationals was that the Nationals in 2019 had a losing record in their last 40 games, and they won the World Series.
Yeah. Pitched great, turned it on. Amazing.
Here's the audio from Wrigley yesterday.
Green Bay sucks! Green Bay sucks! Green Bay sucks!
That's what they were chanting.
Yeah, embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
So embarrassing to be a Cubs fan with that. Why? Your team just won against a non-Wisconsin team. How is that your focus at all? That's crazy. If
the Bears are tied for last place in the NFC North, the Cubs just won. And living rent-free in their head are the Green Bay Packers. What? That's amazing.
Yeah, that was I don't if the Brewers win game 1 against the Cubs or the Padres, I promise you the conversation and the cheering will not be the Bears still suck. Like, what? Where is that coming from?
It's wild.
Makes no sense.
All right. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest. I appreciate that. The morning mind dump carried over a little bit today. It happens sometimes. I'm grateful for it.
I'm not done here.
Oh, you're not done?
I have questions for you.
Well, that's not this segment.
Well, we're all over the place today. I don't care. So you tell me if you're going to tell me how to fan and you're not going to let me fan the way that I want to fan, you tell me how I'm supposed to watch this game 2 Padres and Cubs as a Brewers fan, not caring about anything besides the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep.
How am I supposed to watch this?
One
and just
word.
Go, wee, yay.
No, yeah.
Woo-hoo!
One word. Indifferent. You can watch this game.
That's dumb.
Indifferent.
That's dumb.
No, enjoy the baseball. Watch the baseball. Enjoy the playoff game between two teams that fought hard all season to get to this point. Watch a baseball game and enjoy what you're watching. I didn't hate that game yesterday. And
well,
I can
crazy.
Well, look at us in the text. All we said was, I'm here for it. Our team isn't playing. I don't care who the Brewers play in this next round. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually very open to the plausibility of Chicago coming to Milwaukee because as a fan, that is the greatest scenario you could possibly ever make up in your head.
Well, boy, did that change from last week when you were on these same airwaves saying, I just don't want to face the Cubs. I don't want to have to deal with Cub fans coming to American Family Field.
That was what I said.
Well, you just said right now that you're okay with the plausibility of them coming. And
I am.
Well, pick a place to stand here. Do you want them to be here or do you not? What do you want?
Two things can be true at once. I do not want the Cubs fans in AmFam Field, and I invite the opportunity to knock the Cubs out of the playoffs. Two things can be true at once. The Cubs fans are obnoxious, and there's nothing in my life that compares to that. Nothing. And I'm not looking forward to sitting in that stadium with Cubs fans just as loud as Brewers fans and equal, if not more, in number. That sucks. I hate that.
You know how you guarantee that doesn't happen?
But
you have the Padres get there instead.
And you know what? If they do, sweet. Then we'll play the Padres. But I said to you yesterday that our team isn't playing. So we got to watch 4 games of Major League Baseball playoffs yesterday with complete indifference other than you and I picking the games on this show yesterday. I'm a baseball fan. I've said this. I think I said it to John Kuhn over the weekend. Keyword think, because we had some really great times. He asked me, how many seasons of Packers football am I willing to give up in terms of no Super Bowl for a Brewers World Series? My number is 10. It was 10 right away, 10. I want baseball more than anything else. I didn't even play baseball. I played Little League. I played Pony League. I'm a big, big baseball fan. I have great memories from County Stadium when I was a kid. I love tailgating at a Brewers game. So right now, I'm simply indifferent in regards to how the playoff games are going. I'm here for the fun of playoff baseball, and I just don't need to worry about which team we're going to play. That was the whole conversation. All right, let's wrap this up. There's a few more texts in here. This is your guy again. There's a lot of stats in there, Josh. Can you paraphrase here for us, or is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. You and Brian, do you guys ever go out to dinner together?
We have, from time to time, yeah.
How does that sound? Loud?
No, honestly, I feel like it's better than this, which is why I know he's heated too, which is okay. I'm not telling him how to fan.
I didn't realize this when we first started doing the show, that Jason in the 920 was one of my lifelong best buddies. We went to kindergarten together. Did we though, Jay, or did you? Never mind. So rarely do he and I agree on things like sports, but what he's saying is the point I'm trying to get across in my morning mind dump. This is far from anything we need to worry about. And listen, hypothetically speaking, by the end of next week, we're in a different situation, having a different conversation. That's called realism. Now I will talk about whatever that realistic scenario is. But until then, I'm just along for the ride, and I refuse to look at this Brewers season as anything other than the greatest season I've ever been a part of as a Brewers fan. Last one on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. Cubs Brewers would be absolutely electric, and there's a real possibility we're all going to get to experience it, embrace it, love it. From Trempolo. That's how I feel, and nobody's telling you how to fan.
Yeah,
that's exactly what the morning mind dump is.
No, I don't even feel like I got a fair shot at a morning mind dump today. It's all right. That's how it goes.
These things happen, I guess.
Yep.
But at the end of the day,
you wrote an email. You wrote a good letter. You liked. You said, "Don't worry, it's not going to take up all 20 minutes of the segment."
We were reading text.
It took 13 minutes. We went to the text line for the other. It's fine. It's fine. We got a new segment coming up next. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. What would you do Wednesday? We're going to pose a few scenarios, and I want to know, what would you do? We want to know, what path would you take? Every Wednesday, usually at 7:25, unless this happens, which was fun, by the way. Thanks for all your input on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. I love life. 414-677-1250. What would you do is next. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW, and Josh is at On Air Josh. The show Inside Wis Sports on the old X.com. The Fan Milwaukee is where you can follow the station on Facebook and Twitter and join us on the website. You can listen live there, thefanmilwaukee.com, or on the Odyssey app, wherever you are. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is open, 414-677-1250. And a reminder that it is Insiders Wednesday on 9 to noon with Coon. Packers beat writer Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press-Gazette is at 10 a.m., and Forbes Brewers writer Andrew Wagner at 11 here on 1250 a.m. and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Did you hear me kind of giggle when I was reading Ryan Wood? I saw him in the airport in Dallas.
Yeah.
He was not well, very tired. Those guys had a late night.
Yeah.
With all of their deadlines and stuff, and then we're all in the airport the next morning. I don't think he told me he didn't get out of the stadium till like after 2:30 because that's when they closed the press box. Crazy. He definitely has the inside scoop, so make sure to tune into that today, 9 to noon with Coon. All right, what would you do Wednesday? Here's the scenario I had happened to me in Dallas, and I want to know, what would you do?
Wait a minute. Are we doing this new segment now, or are we doing it next?
Well, let me just pose this question to you now, and I think we also have another one that we can do next as well.
Okay.
So let me pose this question to you from Dallas, and then I know that we want to cover that WNBA piece from yesterday. In case you missed this, there was a player from the Minnesota Lynx. Her name is Nafisha Collier. She was injured in the last game of their series. They were the dominant team this year, Minnesota Lynx, and she had a couple 2-3 words to say to the WNBA commissioner. We're going to pose a question and tie that back to Wisconsin sports in the next segment, but let me get your take on this real quick, all right? So we're in Dallas, and I believe it is our first day there, Friday. We get settled into the hotel, and we are hungry. It is time to go and get some lunch. And so we take an Uber to this area called Las Colinas, which is a really nice area. And we went to this taco joint. And I ordered a jumbo margarita, a grande, I believe is the word I used. I'll take a grande margarita. The margarita that came out was literally the size of my head. When we are done with this in the top of the hour break, I will post a picture. It was huge, absolutely huge. Did we crush it? Yes, we did. Then we went over to this other spot where they had the most tap beers on tap in the world, they said. Then we went back to the hotel, chilled for a bit, and then we went out for a really nice dinner. We wanted to do that once and check out this spot called Papa's Brothers Steakhouse. It's like the steakhouse in Dallas, from our understanding. And so we loved it. And so we went there. I mean, I had some red wine, which I know better than not to mix, but here I am, and now I'm having a bourbon and blah, blah, blah. We get to the end of dinner, and I have half of my steak left. We don't have a fridge in our hotel room. I got nowhere to go with this food, right? And so jokingly, I said to the water boy, water boy, filling up the waters, I was like, dude, do you want the rest of this? He looked at me square in the eyeballs, Josh, and he goes, I am starving. I've never eaten here. I would love that. And this was a kid that was probably in his early 20s.
Whoa.
In college. He said he was starving. We believed him. I don't know what your life was like when you were 22, but I was living on ramen noodles and chicken pot
absolutely
pies.
Could have been, yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's do it. So he says, well, I got to go ask my manager. Well, I knew that was not going to work.
Yeah, right.
So we decide that we're going to box our stuff up and we're going to put it in a bag. And then we're like, dude, which is your car out there? We're just going to go and throw this next to your car. So we did. The problem was my friends Chris and Gina went back there to throw it by his car, and security saw him in their little golf cart.
Oh, no.
And we think that they went and grabbed the food. And now my brain is telling me, oh, my God, we were trying to help a kid because he literally looked at us with these eyes of, I could actually really use that food. And now I'm going, did we just get the kid fired? Did security go and grab that food, walk back in and go, what is this? What happened?
I doubt that security went back inside. What do you think? They identified the kid's car and I mean, it's a possibility, I suppose. But
so what would you do?
At what point? I think you did everything you could.
Would you have done what we did, though? I mean, the question is...
yeah. Well, sure.
You would have? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't... If I'm not going to eat it, I don't have a way to reheat it. I absolutely hate wasting food. If there's someone else that would want it... I've been in places where, if I know that there are some homeless people on the walk back to wherever I'm going, I will say, no, I'm not going to keep this, but I'm going to absolutely have it boxed up and give it to, this person on the street here.
My wife said it best. Imagine the spot you must be in life to look at somebody else's plate and go, God, I would love that.
Yeah.
So we thought the right thing to do was, no, we're going to try to get this kid this food. And listen, I'm very grateful for the position that my family is in life. We treat ourselves to a nice steak dinner when we're on vacation. And we go on vacation maybe once or twice a year.
Sure.
Maybe. So when this kid looked at us with significantly hungry eyes and then said...
Hungry eyes, great point.
I could never eat here. I am not allowed to order food while we're working. And the only way I can is if I come back when I'm off. And again, he's 22. Now, he also said, and this was crazy, he's in college at a chiropractic school. Dude's going to be a doctor.
Oh, he's going to be a chiropractor, yeah. I'm just joking. I have friends that are chiropractors. I love making that joke.
I love chiropractic. Yeah, so all right, I'm glad that that's what you would do, because that's what we did. And I had this fear, though, that I'm like, God, should we have done that? Like, did we accidentally get this kid in trouble? But my heart was like, I think he's legit hungry.
Yeah. I don't know how you would have gone about doing it any other way.
Should we have done it?
I see no problem with doing it.
Other than the manager said no.
And are we positive the manager said no?
Well, the kid came back to us and said, no, my manager said I can't take it.
Okay.
Which I would have rather asked for permission. Or I'm sorry, asked for forgiveness than permission in that scenario. But so it was okay that we did that. That's the question. What would you do?
Yeah, I'm not upset that you did that at all. I would have done that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
What would I do on the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line? 414-677-1250. I would extend the mind dump segment and wish rays of happiness shine upon Josh once more. From Ziggy.
Hey, thanks, Ziggy. I appreciate that. Listen, before all of this conversation that I've hated so much happened today, I'm been very happy. Been having a good day. But besides it, I just don't like when people tell me how to fan.
So for the radio lore that is some of these fun banters that we get ourselves into, on the side, I have friends concerned that you're actually mad.
Ooh. That's
like
nice.
You're not.
That's
this
nice
isn't a personal conversation.
That's nice that your friends, are concerned. They don't even know me. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's good. That's better than my friends. Like my friend Brian, who texted in and said all these things today.
Oh, so that's good. You actually might be mad at him, but not me.
Listen, I don't know. Like, I've had to defend my fandom a ton.
You started a podcast that said, don't tell me how to fan. So, I mean, that sounds accurate.
Because people, and I understand the people like you that are positive. There's a ton of them. You see this a ton, especially when a season ends, whether it's Packers, Brewers, Badgers, it doesn't matter. Take your pick. And when it ends, there are people that are pissed off and they're like, this happens every single time, blah, 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 blah. And then there are people that are like, it was a great season and don't hang your heads. And, what a fun time. Thank you so much. Can't wait for next season. Can't wait for spring training. Can't wait for training camp. It'll be here before we know, blah, blah. Different people fan different ways. And I appreciate that. You're passionate about your sports teams, regardless of what it is. You're passionate about it. And I like that. And I'm a fan of it. I just don't like when people tell me the way that I'm fanning is wrong. Let me fan the same way as I'm letting you fan. That's all.
Perfect.
Thanks
for getting that out.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to pose a question next. What would happen in Wisconsin sports if somebody like Nafisha Collier came out and threw the commissioner of whatever league under the bus? What would we as Wisconsin sports fans do with that? We'll ask that question next. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here about
got him, and the Red Sox rally from behind and take game one of this wild card 3-1.
A pretty good baseball game in New York last night. Boston leads that series. Our thanks to that audio from the Boston side of all things MLB playoffs. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome to Hour 3 of Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name is Trevor Thomas. He is Josh Albrecht. I think he is.
That's who I am, yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, just make sure. Hi. Follow us on the Twitter, will you? At Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. The show has a Twitter page, brand new, at Inside Wis Sports. Follow the Fan on Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. The website, thefanmilwaukee.com. And a busy Nicolay Law fan talk and text line this morning. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Save that in your phone. We love the interaction. So before we move on to this question about what would we do here in Wisconsin if a player from one of our sports teams came out and just roasted the commissioner of that particular league like Minnesota Lynx forward Nafisa Collier did yesterday in regards to all the things that are going on at the WNBA. What would you do if one of our players did that? We'll get to that next. However, I just want to make sure that Josh knows he's not alone. Him and what's this? Brian is your buddy?
Yeah, my buddy Brian. Yeah, who I'm texting through my phone because I can't respond to his texts on the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. We got to get that fixed too.
So at the end of the day, though, like it is clear that you guys can send each other some barbs and, you know, just give each other the business.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to make sure you know you're not alone. So last night, we're wrapping up the night. I'm sitting doing some show prep, and I get a text from my buddy Brady. No context whatsoever.
Hi, Brady.
It's a TikTok. And this is the audio from the TikTok that he sent me. By the way, I sent this to Josh and said, do not listen to this. I even labeled it. I believe, yes. What is the name of the audio file?
Don't listen in all caps, which let me tell you, as the person who fires the buttons is terrifying. Okay.
So this is a TikTok, a random TikTok that my buddy Brady sent me last night. And I just want to make sure that you're not alone in the fact that your buddies like to bust your you-know-whats.
Yeah, very used to that.
Here's the audio.
What does Trevor mean in Chinese? Oh, okay. Trevor in Chinese means 脆娃. 脆 means fragile, weak. 娃 means baby. So Trevor means weak little crying baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Trevor means weak little crying baby in Chinese. Fragile. Now here's the problem
with that. Is that true? Do you believe that that's?
Oh, I've been a soft fella in the past.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit true. But what he's referencing is a nickname I have because of the way I hunt.
Oh, okay.
I choose
goes back to hunting.
Safety first. Safety is no accident.
Shouldn't everyone with hunting choose safety?
That's not the truth.
Okay, that's
I wish
terrifying.
It was. I absolutely despise deer drives because there's always a couple guys that don't care. And last I checked, that's how people get hurt. So they have come up with a nickname for me that I cannot repeat on the air that essentially means you're a baby. And so I get this random text saying this is what Trevor means in Chinese by a woman of Chinese descent, clearly speaking in the language that is apparently a fragile crying baby. So you're not alone. This is how friends show you they love you sometimes.
And now here's the thing that I'm going to read just so that everyone else knows. This is how the conversation with my friend Brian has gone off the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. Okay. I said to him, I said the Brewers aren't playing now. They're not, by the way, just in case people weren't aware of that.
Yesterday. I said that to you yesterday.
Right. So they're not playing. The Padres and the Cubs are. I don't want to play the Cubs as the Brewers. I don't want the Brewers to play the Cubs. I want the Cubs to lose now. I don't understand how me focusing on that is a problem. Apparently, the only way to be a Brewers fan is to say everything's great all the time, no matter what. Of course, that was me being sassy. And he said, wanting the Cubs to lose is fine. Just embrace a 75% chance that we get the Cubs at this point and that we'll be favored to beat them. They are not the powerhouse. We are. I said, I know that it's very realistic at this point that the Cubs are coming to AmFam. I don't know what the statistics are, but when you have home field advantage in that wild card series and you win game one, I mean, the percentage at this point of the Cubs taking that wild card series has to be at least 75%, if not higher. I would think maybe even 85. And I said, I believe that the Brewers can get it done against them. I just hate that it has to be this way, and I wish the Cubs could lose now. I will not go against that. I cannot watch this Padres-Cubs series and just enjoy baseball because I don't like one of the teams. And so I am rooting against that team.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing it vigorously in hate watching the Cubs. I don't like them. I do not want them to come to American Family Field. I do not want to have the Brewers beat them. I would like them to be beaten now. Period.
Did you watch the Cubs on WGN on your cable package when you were a kid?
No.
So I'm that much older than you.
No, I mean, they were there. Like, Cubs games were on WGN when I was a kid. I just didn't watch them because I don't like the Cubs.
So when I was a kid, the Brewers weren't really on TV. The only baseball that I had on TV was Cubs games during the day on WGN. They didn't have lights at the dump back then.
Yeah.
And it was Ryan Sandberg and Mark Grace and Andre Dawson and a whole bunch of guys that I fell in love with baseball watching. I am not a Cubs fan, but you might recall the Brewers were in the AL back then.
Correct.
And so I didn't have this reason then to hate the Cubs the way I do now. But I must admit, it is the Cubs fans that drive my hate of the Cubs. It is not the hate of the Cubs that drives my hate.
Sure.
It is the fandom.
Yeah.
And I find it absolutely nauseating.
Listen, you're not wrong. You might find this surprising. My least favorite sports franchise in all of sports is the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cubs have not stopped the Brewers over history from winning a World Series. They have not been the team to do it. It has been the St. Louis Cardinals that have been the thorn in my side as a Brewers fan.
There's that.
But Cardinals fans are pompous and they'll go, oh, but you guys still had such a good season. And, as if they expect to win the whole thing all the time. And that's annoying. But it's not like Cub fans. The Cub fans are in your face. They're aggressive. I've taken Jordy when he was a baby to Brewers games where Cubs were there and had beer poured on a 2-year-old, child by Cubs fans that are just obnoxious in the seats. I don't want that atmosphere. I don't want that. I don't like that rowdiness, and that's not usually how things are at American Family Field. So I'm with you on that.
Good. Hey, look at us agreeing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we agree on this.
Okay.
So I did not think a WNBA conversation would come up in the first 2 weeks of the show, but here we
agreed.
are. So there was an article that came out yesterday on CBS Sports. And if you watch any type of sports coverage, you saw this, whether it was on ESPN or Twitter or literally anywhere you get sports updates. But Nafisha Collier from the Minnesota Lynx, I just want to make sure I pronounce that. They spent the entire 2025 WNBA regular season as the league's most dominant team and then suffered a shocking semifinals loss to the Phoenix Mercury to end their bid for another championship earlier than expected. I'm paraphrasing here from this article in CBS Sports. That series ended with star forward Nafisa Collier injured and in a walking boot after suffering an ankle injury late in Game 4 on a controversial no call that sent Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve into a tirade on the sideline. On Tuesday, yesterday, Collier met with the media for her postseason exit interview and opened with a lengthy 4-minute statement in which she went scorched earth on WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert over a number of issues, from CBA negotiations to officiating problems. And she even name-dropped a couple, including old Caitlin.
I think it's important to know, if you haven't seen the clip, your girl came in with printed documents.
Yeah.
This was not I'm mad and I'm going to go sit at a table and talk about it. This was, I have a statement prepared and I would like to give it to you now type of presser.
Yes.
This is part of that 4 minutes and 32 seconds. We're not going to play the whole thing, but this is what I thought was the most interesting 50 seconds of it.
To be fixed. That is negligence. At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them.
Damn!
Wowie.
I mean, whoo!
Yeah. There will be fines.
Oh, she knew there were going to be fines.
Oh, yeah. I hope that she had a conversation with somebody ahead of time going, hey, I'm doing this. I know I'm going to be fined. Would you chip in? Or at least not fine me more for my own team, knowing that I'm going to do this? So here's where we land, Josh.
Yes.
What if that was one of our guys or gals?
Well, and so I love making this comparison. Before we tie this into the segment of what would you do, can I just say, what a bold and awesome move to actually see someone do. That is a definition of the whole group having a thought and one person being willing to be the voice to say it.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely do not think she's alone in her thoughts about the WNBA and the way players are treated, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. But I thought that was great. Okay, back to your point. Tying it back to Wisconsin, yes. And for this What Would You Do segment that we're going to do on Wednesdays, thinking about, and I think it's great to compare this to the current 2025 Green Bay Packers. And looking at there, especially after that game in Dallas, there were a lot of people that were frustrated, to say the least, Trevor. And I think, okay, what would you do if this was spun and you had the opportunity to do this about the Green Bay Packers? Who would you be going after? Would you do this? Would you think that this would help in some way? What would you do, Trevor Thomas?
To compare it to the situation in the WNBA, it would have to be really bad in a certain scenario. And I'm thinking about, like, if a flag wasn't thrown in multiple games of a quarterback getting hurt, or look what you allowed to happen because you didn't have control of the game. We lost a star player just like the Minnesota Lynx did. I think that I would be okay with it if it was drastic. And I think we can all agree that what's going on in the WNBA right now is pretty drastic. I mean, you can't watch a highlight without going, geez, is there a ref? Is somebody reffing this? What's happening? I mean, it happened in the Monday night game in comparison, right? Tua slides and again gets hit as he's sliding. But I loved a tweet that I saw I can't recall at the moment. Oh, it was Bankert. It was
Kurt Bankert.
Kurt Bankert, yeah. He came out and said, I have an easy fix for this. Get rid of sliding. Quarterbacks, if they choose to run, are no different than any other running player. And so allow them to think twice about the open field, just like anybody else. So if that's a situation that may compare, where especially because Tua is seemingly one more hit away from scrambled eggs, that's a scenario where, as a Packers fan, I would go, something's got to give, right? Years ago against the Vikings, I remember when Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone. I don't think that hit would be allowed today. And so there's some changes that have happened, including this sliding rule. But if one of our players went completely scorched earth over something like that after the season, and by the way, the season's still going on.
Right. Her season's just done.
I would ask about the timing and what channels was this run up? Because that's a bad look. And I understand someone on the Nick Law Fan Talking text line says, I think it's awesome. The best of the league needs to speak up. Heard. And I think it's hard for me to wrap my mind around what could possibly be in any of our sports that we're fans of here in Wisconsin. What could possibly happen that would cause this? Now, pause. I hate to say this, but I think we're coming into a season where we may be without baseball here after next season. There's some stuff going down with their CBA.
Oh, okay.
That very well may cause the 2026 season to be the last. And we may have a player strike. And I remember the last time baseball did this. Do you?
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah. I was young too. There was a lot of fans, especially here in Wisconsin, that wrote baseball off. And it took Major League Baseball a long time to recover from that. So we might actually get to experience this in regards to some of the things that Nafisha Collier said about the CBA negotiations at the WNBA. That's happening, which, by the way, is all the more reason I want the Milwaukee Brewers to win so badly this year for all of the reasons that we would want them to win.
Yeah.
But let me take my fan cap off for a second and put on my sports cap. Think about one of the teams with the lowest payroll in the smallest league, in the smallest cities in the league, winning the championship.
Yeah.
If you are a team like the Yankees or Dodgers or any of these other ones with these giant payrolls, and now you're going into a CBA negotiation at the MLB league level, the first thing I would lay on the table is the 2025 Milwaukee Brewers World Series ring. And go, if you think we need a salary cap, then tell me how this happened.
Yeah, it's definitely, if that happens, it's a huge debate point for, the other side.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
let's hope we never have that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's wrong. I hope she gave some people a heads up. I think we as Wisconsin sports fans would find that a little cringy. And yet at the same time, if the situation was worthy of comments like that and one of our guys or gals was the one doing it, I think we'd probably be a fan of that.
So a few things. Like I said, I think you needed to have that person. I think especially in 2025 with the way that social media is and everyone having a voice, keeping it in-house isn't going to get anything done. And I think that if you compare this to a league that a Wisconsin sports team would be playing in, like the Packers, for example, I'm still not even positive that if you had anyone, Jordan Love, any Packer, that would come out and say something like this, if there was a need to say it, that it would change anything. I think that the NFL and that shield is just too big to really stir up some change from it. I think the WNBA is still at just like a vulnerable point because their identity has changed so much since Caitlin Clark came into the league, to where it's this topic has been discussed, behind closed doors and at bars and things like that, to where, but now that you have an actual current player coming out and saying this against the brass is a big deal. That changes it.
Yeah. And Kathy Engelbert was hid behind a statement.
Yeah.
Very short statement that she came out in response to what the whole thing was yesterday with Nafisha Collier. Very interesting stuff. All right, up next, we're actually going to hear from one of our guys. Matt LaFleur talked yesterday about what in the world was that ending against Dallas down there in Dallas this past weekend. We saved that for this part of the show because we don't want to dwell on Dallas, but Coach talked yesterday, and I thought what he had to say was quite fascinating. We'll share that and our thoughts on that up next. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sports Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your NFL game live every Sunday, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Make sure to fan in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250. All right, Josh, there is one particular text that you want to read before we move on to a little Packers talk here.
I do. So you said earlier in the show that Jason in the 920 is a friend of yours.
Yep.
Grew up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Think kindergarten was mentioned at some point. Well, he texted in and said, in regards to you talking about watching Cubs games on WGN and how it didn't make you that mad and made you fall in love with baseball, he said what Trevor is trying to say without making his fans mad is that he was a Cubs fan as a kid. I am going to give you some time now to refute.
Off the air, by the way, I texted him directly and said, I will cut you for sending that into the show because now I have to talk about it. I did not have the Brewers on TV, and I spent a lot of time as a kid alone. And so was I a fan of the Cubs? I don't think so. It's not like I was cheering for the Cubs, but I'm a baseball fan, and it was the only game on. So I wasn't like cheering for or against them. I mentioned earlier that I didn't have a reason to hate them back then, and it was the only thing. And we're talking about like under 10 years old Trevor, by the way.
Yeah.
Now,
thank you, Jason. Now it's all making sense.
But I was, let's be honest, though. I mean, I'm also a fan of good baseball players. I mentioned this earlier. Breaking news, Shohei Ohtani is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's really good at baseball.
Ridiculous. Those guys on the Cubs during that era never made it anywhere. But it was good baseball to watch. I loved watching Ryan Sandberg play baseball. Mark Grace, first base. I played first base in Little League. I didn't have the Brewers back then. I mean, we're talking like late 80s, 90, 91. Max. WGN, by the way, was always on in my house because of Bozo.
Okay.
Dude, I loved Bozo in the morning. Yep. I couldn't go to school unless I watched that little ping pong bucket thing that they did.
Sure.
Big fan. Was I a fan of the Cubs? I don't think you can qualify at that. I was a kid. We collected baseball cards down at Snappy's in Jefferson. So, no, I don't think I was a Cubs fan. But that's my boy Jay. That's my guy JT.
Definitely, Jason, listen, thank you. Because this to me now all makes way more sense of how you can watch a game that the Cubs are playing in and just enjoy it as a baseball game. Because you didn't hate the Cubs your entire life. You didn't. And so you can watch this game and go, yeah, it's just the Cubs. I liked them before I turned 10. This is fine. It's all making sense. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that. You know, that makes me feel a lot better about how I'm fanning after being told I'm just supposed to enjoy the fact that baseball is on. I appreciate that.
My wife just texted me and said our whole marriage is a lie. You were a Cubs fan when you were younger?
Oh, my God. Your wife is amazing, too.
I was not a Cubs fan.
Vindication!
You cannot say I was a Cubs fan.
You weren't a Cubs fan. You just watched their games and enjoyed them.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean,
sounds like being a fan to me.
7 years old, man. 7 years old.
Hey, I get it. I'm not trying to tell you how to fan. I'm just learning about your fandom. That's all.
Wow.
It's making way more sense.
40 years ago, 35 years. All right. Yeah. Hi, I'm Straw. Grasp it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to make yourself feel better. For
listen. It's all making sense. Like I'm not judging you on it. It's just I'm getting the picture.
Sounds good. All right, let's move on to some Packers stuff, shall we? Matt LaFleur, jerks. Matt LaFleur.
It's not so fun, is it, Trevor? Huh? Not so fun.
Oh, that's good. That was great.
What did Matt LaFleur have to say?
It's funny. I actually had a conversation with myself recently, and I said, Self, I don't think you hate the Cubs as much as you think you do. But I do think you hate the fans more than anything on this planet.
Oh, my God.
But I have been on record saying that. I'm not afraid of the Cubs. I hate the Cubs manager. I don't want to spend any time with their fans. But I may not hate the actual team as much as you might hate the Cardinals, like you said.
Yeah, I hate the Cardinals so much.
And but also understand, I accidentally went to St. Louis for a business trip the day after the Cardinals season opener got rained out. We got out of the cab, and there were nothing but Cardinals and Cubs jerseys as far as I could see. I was in an elevator. We were staying at the Hilton right next to Busch Stadium. I was in an elevator on my way up, and I sent this to my wife. I took a picture of the jerseys that were standing in front of me in this packed elevator, and I said, this is my hell. But it has everything to do with the fan bases.
Do you have any idea how hard it was being a chubby little white kid going to County Stadium and having any conversation just be about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, the two guys wearing the uniforms of the teams that just constantly beat the crap out of your team? That was my childhood as a Brewers fan. Was that was what I got to witness.
Did you?
That was it.
And that steroid era of baseball was one of my favorite ever.
Oh, it was amazing for the sport. But as a 7-8-year-old kid, and going to a game and just watching your team get obliterated because they're awful and having that be the focus was tough. I want to point this out quick before we get on. I'm loving this. I'm loving this fandom. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. Nick in Greenfield, for everyone's talking about the pessimism, says on this topic, and bringing up the family calendars, which we talked about at the beginning of the show, and telling people how to fan. Evidently, last year at this time, I put the following entry on my calendar for today based on what I fully expected to happen.
Jeez.
Watch Brewers get swept at home in wild card round. That, my friends, is pessimism.
Yeah, okay. That's true. Putting it on paper is definitely not realistic. Okay.
That is, you're not even waiting to see what could happen. You are already throwing in the towel.
Look at Jason's last text. Trevor hates the Cubs fans as he's ashamed of who he used to be.
Brilliant.
Oh, man. I'm going to send something to his house that smells terrible.
I'm going to send him flowers. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, good for you. Let's play this audio from Matt LaFleur yesterday.
Okay, Matt LaFleur,
Here's how he described the experience that he went under watching the end of the game in Dallas.
It was like watching a slow motion car crash in front of your face where I'm just looking at the clock. I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be no time left. I mean, it's a very humbling experience to go through that. And it's unacceptable, quite honestly. So, and there's nothing we can do about it now other than we better learn from it. Everybody. I'm sure it'll be a teach tape for around the league, to be honest with you.
You were the one driving the car.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
You can't. That's like the cops show up at the car crash and you explain to them what happened and be like, yeah, it was terrifying. I was the one that was driving. I saw that, this car was turning and I just T-boned him. I don't even know. It's on me. What are you doing? You going out and saying that? It was like a car crash, and I was the one driving the car. I was in control of the game, and I was like, we're going to crash.
So Matt LaFleur has a bit of a habit of taking the fall all the time.
Oh, yeah, he does.
All the time. And numerous times yesterday. He was literally saying, it's on me. That's on me.
We got to be better. Yeah, all the classic lines.
And there was something in regard later in the press conference about the 2-minute and how there was some miscommunication on whether they were in the 2-minute or not, which is why so much time came off the clock there towards the end. What scenario in under 2 minutes, other than taking a knee and getting to halftime, is not a 2-minute situation? I will be the first to admit I know 1,000 more things about baseball than I do football in terms of like the X's and O's. I love watching it. Don't get me wrong, but I sit next to my buddy Joe at the high school football games, and I look at him and go, will you teach me? Like, because he can tell me exactly what's going to happen when. Hey, watch this. He's going to come across the middle. It's this formation, that. And I'm like, how?
Yeah, like Tony Romo used to do.
Yeah.
When he first got in the booth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand at what point Matt is going to go, you know what? I handed the keys over for this vehicle in that situation, and we blew up. It blew up in our face.
But did he hand the keys? That's my point, right? There are way too many times when Matt LaFleur will go to the podium and he thinks because he's the head coach, he has to be the one to say, it's my fault, that's on me, even though we're sitting there going like, well, it shouldn't be your fault. That's the players. Like, you're just covering for him. He wasn't covering for anyone in this case. It was his fault. It was his clock management. It was his time management with this drive. I don't his play calling. It's just incredible to me that he came out and explained it in that way. He admittedly said, yeah, I did a really bad job at coaching here.
Some years ago, when Christian Watson was a rookie, I was at the Packers Welcome Back Luncheon at Lambeau Field. You may see this online from time to time. Rodgers and the quarterbacks used to dress up and wear costumes to this. And a player and or coach goes and sits at these tables and you get to have a conversation. Christian Watson was at my table. And I asked him, this is back when Rodgers was still quarterback. You're laughing at that text.
I am. I'm so sorry.
I asked Christian Watson, hey, man, how's it going learning the offense? And he said, which one? Matt LaFleur's or Rodgers? So I can't help but compare that to what happened in this game and go, I don't know that Jordan Love has his own offense or his own confidence or his own moxie to take a game over, which means he is fairly dependent on Matt LaFleur driving that car, and it crashed.
That's fair.
Read it. Let's get to the break. Read it, and then we'll come back with What's Up, Wisconsin.
Okay. Darren in the 920 says, I'm taking the invite back for the tailgate. No Cub fans allowed.
Gross.
I love the snowball effect of what's happening here.
Yeah.
You going from as a child not minding the Cubs to now people just calling you a straight up Cubs fan.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Is this where I say, don't tell me how to fan?
That's exactly when you'd say that. Yeah.
Because I'm not fanning on the Cubs.
Oh,
all right.
That's fun.
I'm a fan of the Brewers. 97 wins. The NL Central champs. How far will the crew go? Get ready for the postseason with night 2 of the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wirtz and Andrew Wagner tonight from 5 to 6 here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports, which a guy wouldn't name it that if he was a Cubs fan. With Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsman. one more segment here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. All right, Josh, what is up, Wisconsin? What's up, Wisconsin?
Up? What's up?
Kind of didn't talk over you.
No, I'm going to talk over you with every time. That's okay. That's the point.
It's good. No, I would say I hate that I jump on you. All right, what's up, Wisconsin? This is where you get to check in with us, if you so chose, on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. We are talking about what's up today. The good news is that the MLB playoff schedule yesterday is the exact same thing today.
Which is awesome. I don't feel like I've ever complimented a sports franchise or a sports league on playoff scheduling. But the fact that the way they did it yesterday, they're just going, it's exactly the same today. You don't got to change your schedule. It's exactly the same.
They were kind of forced, though, to do this, if you really break it down. The first game out the chute today, 12:08 Eastern. There's always a day or game or two, especially in this round. It's on the east side. It's in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
So they're forced to start that one first because it's a 1:08 start there, 12:08 here. Detroit leads the series against the Cleveland Guardians. Game 2 today on ESPN at 12:08. Then the Padres and the Cubs. Central time zone. 2:08 start, 3:08 on the East Coast, which means hypothetically the Tigers-Guardians game is approaching the end, most likely. Then back to the East Coast for a primetime game, which is fascinating timing here, though. 5:08. The worst time for traffic in all of New York and Boston's area. And that's when the Yankees-Red Sox game starts, which, by the way, could there have been a more awesome series for that area than Red Sox-Yankees?
Of course.
Like that's from a baseball fan's perspective, that's cool to see. And then later on tonight on the West Coast, 8:08, Reds-Dodgers. And so, to recap, it's Tigers 1-0 against the Guardians, Cubs 1-0 against the Padres, Boston 1-0 against the Yankees, and the Dodgers 1-0 against the Reds. That got interesting at the end of the Reds-Dodgers game last night. I was unaware. I was absolutely asleep by that time, knowing that I had no skin in that game, frankly, at least not for now. The Dodgers kind of let things collapse a little bit. I mean, the final was 10-5, right?
Yeah.
11-5, something like that?
10-5, yeah.
10-5, yeah. So, I mean, they came back. All right, wow, look at the Dodgers fans just celebrate finally getting an out in the 8th. That's funny.
Yeah.
Josh, what do you have going on today? What's up, sir?
Well, so I'm going to be, again, watching a lot of baseball and enjoying all of it except for the Padres and Cubs game, because that's the only one that I truly, truly am cheering against one team and for another. And I thought, look, playoff baseball is different, man. It's different. It's exciting. Watching, like, I had no stake in the Cleveland and Detroit game, but from the 7th inning on and seeing how their starting pitcher, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he went like 117 pitch. I mean, it was insane, you know, and seeing that type of baseball when it matters the most, there's no saving his arm, right? This is it. You're fighting for it. Was awesome. And so I'm really looking forward to watching more of that. And that's it. That's all I got today, which is fantastic.
That was very CC Sabathia-esque.
Sure was.
Which is why I love the playoffs. The MLB playoffs is different. They're different. And that's why I'm excited for the Brewers, because I really, truly believe a team is going to show up with an M&B on their hat that we have not seen in the last 2-3 weeks. I really believe that.
I hope
we will attack these games different, and the rest is history. Let me leave you with this. I want to know if this is still a thing. The other night at the Eric Church concert that I said my wife and I went to on Thursday night, I was talking in between sets or something like that and said that I was excited to head to AmFam Field for the playoffs. And some dude, random cat right in front of me goes, "Did you just say what I think you said?" And I was like, no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's Miller Park.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, is that still a thing?
Oh, it's definitely a thing. There are so many people who are like, it'll always be Miller Park. I don't correct them. I don't care. I will tell you this. I think everyone that's mad that it's called American Family Field need to realize that it could be Guaranteed Rate Bank Stadium.
Thank you.
It could be. There are so many worse, awful names. I mean, the fact that Cincinnati plays at the Great American Ballpark, people might not even realize like the Great American is like an insurance company. Like it's just a sweet name that works with the name of a ballpark. Going from obviously Miller Park, where the Brewers play, was sweet. That was awesome. It made a lot of sense. But having it called American Family Field, where you're playing the America's pastime, is still a pretty darn good option in comparison to looking around the rest of the league.
And let me also tell you how business works. That was right. A 20-year deal that Miller had for the naming rights of the Miller Park. When it came out, it was County Stadium, just new.
Mm-hmm.
That's because nobody named County Stadium. Why? Because they weren't winning. But it was new, it was fresh, and ultimately it was Miller Park because of the business side of it. And we should be grateful that a Wisconsin company saw the opportunity to jump back in and make sure that that name, to Josh's point, didn't become some XYZ, any company, anywhere thing. No, it's a company that's here in Wisconsin that cares. It's an insurance company, but it's still AmFam. They're based out of Madison. That's a Wisconsin company.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm just talking about the name itself. The name itself is okay.
I agree.
American
AmFam Field is
Family
good.
Field, baseball, yeah, hot dogs, catching a foul. Like, it just, to me, it all ties into the nostalgia, classic, cool of baseball.
Because of our conversation today, I do not want our text to stop during the Cubs game today. I want to continue to converse about how you're feeling.
Are you saying that because you're a Cubs fan?
I am not.
Okay, I'm just curious because the 610 here texted into the Nicolay Law fan talking text on and said Trevor being a Cubs fan is probably why he jinxed the Brewers win streak.
Good
and I just
Lord.
think if there was ever a text to be the last text that we read on today's show, that one's a good that one's a good one. Oh, from the 7 o'clock hour and how you came at me to that text coming in at 8:50. Wow, what a turn.
Have a good day, didn't we?
Hey, don't tell Trevor how to fan people. Okay.
I am not a Cubs fan. I am not a Cubs fan. I want to make this very clear. I am not a Cubs fan
anymore.
I was never a Cubs fan. I'm a baseball fan, and I grew up with WGN on my TV.
A baseball fan that only watched Cub games based on geographic location. Right. You had no choice but to be a Cubs fan.
That's all I said. I hate yelling on the radio. God.
That's a good show. Good show.
That was a great show. Thanks for everything that you brought to it, my friend. That was awesome.
Yeah, you as well. And thank you to everyone that participated and texted in today.
It's awesome. That's what makes these shows go around.
Join us every day, guys. This has been fun.
And save the number in your phone, would you please? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. All right. Make sure to tune in at 9 to noon with Kuhn. That's next. It's Insiders Wednesday on 9 to noon with Kuhn. Packers beat writer Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press-Gazette at 10 a.m. and Forbes Brewers writer Andrew Wagner at 11. Right here, 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Follow us on social media at Trevor Thomas IW. On Air Josh is where you get Mr. Albrecht's takes and feelings and thoughts and concerns and realism.
Yep, they're all there.
It's on the X.
Let's go
at
Padres.
The Fan Milwaukee, thefanmilwaukee.com. Let's go good baseball. Let's not be scared about who's going to come to AmFam Field. Let's celebrate the season that was. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports on 105.7 The Fan and 12:50 a.m. Studios powered by Potawatomi Sportsbook.